What's the story, everyone? Welcome back to GAA Fan TV. Kilmacud Crokes have won back-to-back doubles in Dublin. They have won the Dublin Senior Hurling Championship by a scoreline of 20 points to 17. Now, Fianna, in the end, very, very unlucky, it must be said, to have not come away with the victory, or at least have forced that game to extra time. I thought for large parts they were the better team. They created a number of goal chances going down the home stretch. Sean Baxter, who came off the bench, had one or two very, very big opportunities there for Fianna to potentially win the game, or at best bring the game to extra time. But look, you can't take anything away from Kilmacud Crokes. Like, in the end, their doggedness, their togetherness saw them through and was enough for the victory, even with the fact that Alex Considine was sent off late on. I didn't get to see the replays on TG Carr, so I don't know what that red card was for. I'm guessing it was for some sort of off-the-ball incident, and there didn't seem to be much complaints from Alex Considine when he was given his marching orders. But yeah, Kilmacud Crokes, look, in fairness to them, what a club that they are. They won the football title last weekend. They now go and win the hurling title as well. And to be fair, they did start the better. Like Fianna, I think the big story for them in this game will be, maybe in similar ways to the football final last weekend, they just couldn't hold their nerve towards the end. A couple of wides, a couple of opportunities that you would have perhaps felt they would have scored, at any other moment in the game. They sort of let it slip. And like, even in the opening couple of minutes, there was a couple of silly wides, like 4 wides recorded in the opening 5 or 6 minutes. They went 5 points to 1 down, actually, quite early on. In fairness, they recovered absolutely brilliant. Donald Burke, gave a performance for the absolute ages. He scored 11 points in the game, 5 of which I think were from play. He was absolutely brilliant for Fianna. Wonderful performance from him. Jamieson Murphy, Andrew Jamieson Murphy, I thought was very good as well for Fianna. But Crokes, to be fair, like, every time it looked like Fianna had stepped it up and maybe looked like they were going to go on and win the game, Crokes kept responding. And like, just looking at it here in total, they'd 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different scores in total in the game, as opposed to Fianna, who finished with just 3 scores, or 4 scores in total. So Crokes, like, they had so many options all around the pitch for scores. Alex Considine hit 2 points prior to his red card, but Oisin O'Rourke was undoubtedly the man, the marksman really for Kilmacud Crokes. He was on the freeze, hit some wonderful scores, and hit some brilliant scores late on as well. And I thought he was very, very impressive. Fergal Whiteley, who started the scoring off for Kilmacud Crokes, finished with 2. And Ronan Hayes, who people will remember last year as the real hero for Kilmacud Crokes, he scored that late goal, against Fianna to send the game to extra time. He was actually very quiet. Like, you were watching this game and thinking, was he even playing? Do you know that way? And I don't mean that in a bad way, but it was just such a quiet game from Ronan Hayes. But he did score late on, a decisive point in the end. So it was kind of mad seeing that. Crokes have had a significant amount of player changes this year. And a lot of the new lads that have come in have looked very, very good. Dara Purcell, Brian Hayes in midfield, very, very good as well. Both getting on the score sheet. Caelan Conway getting on the score sheet as well. And Crokes just, they managed to lead very, very well. And even when Fianna turned it around, and I think they led 16 points to 13 at one stage, like, they had enough in them to turn it over. I think undoubtedly, though, Fianna will probably look back at this game and feel it's one that they should have won, and it's probably a game that they've let slip in many ways. Just looking at it here, like, a lot of big late opportunities. They obviously get a big chance late on from Sean Baxter. Good save by Eddie Gibbons on the 52nd minute. If that goes in, Fianna would have went 3 points in front, and you're thinking maybe they go on and win the opportunity. Alex Considine gets a red card around the 53rd minute. You're thinking, or 54th minute, you're thinking Fianna now have about 4 or 5 minutes here plus injury time. The game was level at that time, or I think they were a point down at that time. You're thinking, right, they have an extra man here. They're probably go on and kick on and win this. And they create the opportunities. Colin Curry had an opportunity that, like, watching on TV, it looked like it went over the bar. TG Carr, they certainly, said it looked like it went over the bar as well. They were showing multiple different replays. The umpires gave it wide. like, I know Kilmacud Crokes went on to win the game by 3 points anyway, but if that goes over, if the umpires signal a point there, which I think they should have done, maybe it turns out to be a different game. Sean Baxter had another chance as well, where he goes through and it looks like they obviously give it a wide, but it looked like the keeper saved it and maybe turned it onto the post. So Na Fianna, very, very unlucky. Donald Burke with a late chance as well. He was outstanding. He had a 65 wide at one point as well, kind of going down the home stretch. So, yeah, from a Na Fianna point of view, to be very, very disappointed that he didn't win this game. Thought they were doing great on their own puckouts as well. Great in around the middle. But Crokes probably just moved the ball sharper a little bit in the closing couple of minutes and had a few more options for scores in the likes of Micheál Roche, who even got on the score sheet, Oisin O'Rourke, Fergal Whiteley, Caelan Conway, like we mentioned before. Whereas Na Fianna, other than Donald Burke and Andrew Jameson Murphy, like, they didn't really have, Colin Curry didn't get any points in this game. And they probably just didn't quite have enough for scores in many ways. But fair play to Kilmacud Crokes. Look, back-to-back doubles. You can't take it away from them. I'm not too sure if that's been done in the county before. Maybe Slot Neal are the only county I can think of that have done back-to-back doubles in Ireland. I'm not sure. Maybe there's been other counties previously, but quite an extraordinary achievement there from Kilmacud Crokes. Clock Balacolla will await in the first round of the Leinster Championship, the team who actually beat them in the Leinster Championship last year. So that'll certainly be a game worth tuning into, and certainly one to keep an eye on. Smash the like button, subscribe if you enjoy this content. Kilmacud Crokes, back-to-back Dublin Senior Hurling Champions. Huge achievement for them. We'll be going live after Slot Neal versus Glen. It's currently half-time there. Glen 7 points to 2 up there at the moment. So make sure to tune into the channel when that finishes, as well as a podcast later tonight, looking at all the weekend's action. Certainly a lot of talking points as always from this weekend's club championship. So make sure to tune into that. And as I said, if you enjoy the content, hit the like button, subscribe. My name's Aaron. I'll speak to you all later.